Oh, that's okay.
It's okay. Hi, I'm Tony.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to the second episode of What's That Smell?
Don't forget to vote.
And happy bonfire days of our friends across the pond.
Cut.
Right now, at the end of October, is an odd time to talk about the 4th of July. But there's an election coming up, and despite our differences, certain experiences still unite us. In the United States, July 4th is often celebrated around a grill loaded with hot dogs and hamburgers, beneath skies filled with fireworks and sparklers for the kids. Different cooking methods impart specific aromas and flavor signatures, and just like any scent you can think of, all the particular smells of Independence Day can be chemically expressed. So, what's up with that?
My daughter had come home to visit. We weren't in the habit of setting off fireworks, but we also didn't want to go see fireworks. So we made a trip to the fireworks store, which we'd also never done before. Bottle rockets, firecrackers, smoke bombs. And setting them off, it just sparked all the memories of being a kid, sitting in the hillside. We used to go to State Park to watch the fireworks of the 4th of July, and you could smell everything, striking the match to the fuse being lit to it going off. And I remembered the sounds more first, but the smells were what brought those memories back. And then when they exploded, you'd smell, but then the aftermath of all the fireworks, right? Like every fireworks display has a big finale where they let off, I guess, whatever they had left, and everything's going off, and you just see this haze of smoke and that smell. And for me, the smell changed, right? So it was kind of acrid and stung your nose, but then it got kind of sweet as it goes on. That's what sparked it. So you and I were making this series of why do things around us smell and what are the chemistries that cause the smell.
Cheers. Cheers.
And that got me thinking, well, this is obvious. Let's try this.
The smell memory is so specific that when we're all standing outside in the dark and we see these fireworks and hear these loud noises, whether we realize it or not, we ever thereafter associate it with that particular aroma of the sulfur and the gunpowder and whatever else goes into all those fireworks.
There's different things that trigger memories, right? For sure. Or just trigger relationships. But to me, there's nothing more intimate than smell.
Most of the aroma chemicals that Tony identified in the fireworks smoke were new to him, though a few also naturally occur in plants. Those at the highest concentrations, from smoke bombs, sparklers, and firecrackers, are all used in the manufacture of pigments and dyes. Phyllonotril was the big-ticket item from the smoke bomb. It's used to make pigments and dyes with an aroma described as almond-like. Number 2 in the smoke bomb hit parade is S1E3, which smells like tar. Tony found a variety of hydrocarbons, similar to those found in the oak-cooked hot dogs. Naphthalenes, which smell like mothballs. The sparkler and firecracker smoke bore some relationship to the smoke bombs, but both had high concentrations of biphenyl, which is used to make dyes and smells sweet. The syringol that was found in the firecracker smoke was also present in the boiled and charcoal-fired hot dogs. It smells smoky and sweet, a bit like bacon. The firecracker smoke also had some vanillin, benzaldehyde, and acetophenone. After Tony analyzed the fireworks, he said that what he found aligned with his experience of that smoky smell that moves from sharp and acrid to sweet, smoky, and almond-like.
The other thing that struck me was just hot dogs. And we went through lots of different iterations, like do we get different hot dogs? They all smell different, pork, beef. But the most simple thing I started to realize was just how you prepare the hot dogs. Boiling, charcoal grill, and then over wood fire. And as you're making them, they smell different, right? You get the smell of the hot dog itself, the meaty smell, the spices and the flavors that are added to the hot dog. But then each process was different. Maybe not the boiling one. I thought that smelled kind of gross. But over the charcoal, it had a very different smell than what the wood fire did. On the hot dogs, I suspected some of the chemical compounds that perhaps how they may change in the cooking. But I wasn't as familiar with some of the smoke compounds from wood, from pyrolysis.
Whoa, okay, hang on. Mike here, just jumping in with a definition of pyrolysis, a word to which I was not heretofore hip. Pyrolysis is a chemical change brought about by the action of heat. So just, what happens when you burn stuff. Okay, back to Tony.
But I wasn't as familiar with some of the smoke compounds from wood, from pyrolysis, right? So when we're cooking the hot dogs, you've got sugars, you've got amino acids, and you got heat, all the things you need for the Maillard reaction.
Sorry everyone, but the Maillard reaction also deserves a word or two, though it's a dizzyingly complex chemical process. An incredibly oversimplified explanation is a series of non-enzymatic reactions that occur when sugars and amino acids are applied to heat. Whenever food is heated and turns brown, when you saute onions or bake bread or roast coffee beans or toast a marshmallow or fry potatoes or cook a hot dog, these are examples of the Maillard reaction. Okay, on we go.
So you've got some of these sweet smelling things from the Maillard reaction and some of the roasted and toasted things. But I wasn't familiar with the chemistry of smoke. So going through and picking out from the analysis of, these chemical compounds are from the meat of the hot dog. These chemical compounds are from the spices and the flavors that were used in the hot dog. I can see some of these chemical compounds from the Maillard reaction, but then there's these other compounds that I'm assuming are from the smoke, from the pyrolysis.
In all the hot dogs that we cooked, by any of the three methods, Tony's analysis found acetic acid, which is found in both vinegar and in paprika, a spice commonly used in hot dogs, butanediol, which is buttery and creamy smelling, isobutyraldehyde, and isovaldehyde, which not only sound expensive, but yield a malty and nutty flavor. We found a variety of terpenes, likely from spices like pepper, delta-3-carine, saponine, alpha and beta-pinene, and limonene. Evidence of nutmeg seeds in myristicin and safrole. Allele mercaptan indicated garlic and green onion. Even the boiled hot dogs had smoky-smelling phenols that had to have been from the flavoring since they weren't cooked over charcoal or wood. Orthoguaiacol, creosol, phenol, and syringol. Chemically, the biggest difference between the ill-favored boiled hot dogs and those cooked over high heat are the presence of nutty-smelling pyrazines, which resulted from the Maillard reaction. Methylpyrazine, dimethylpyrazine, ethyl and methylpyrazine, and trimethylpyrazine. The oak-fired hot dogs had additional compounds that resulted from the Maillard reaction: furfural, methylfurfural, and hydroxymethylfurfural. The burning oak releases chemical compounds from the wood's internal cellulose and lignin. These imparted under the hot dog the vanilla, creamy, and sweet-smelling chemicals vanillin and vanillic acid, and the woody, smoky, and sweet-smelling syringaldehyde and cinnabaldehyde. The hot dogs cooked over the oak fire had some of the same smoky-smelling phenols found in the charcoal-grilled dogs, but there were some additional phenols, such as methoxy-4-vinyl phenol, metacresol, and ethyl guaiacol. The oak smoke also imparted some chemical compounds that result from pyrolysis, such as naphthalines and indines.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote.
Vote. Cheers.
Peace. Okay, that's it, I guess.